my mirrors further out so I can see what the heck is going on. Some fun here, guys. All right, fam, what is good? Welcome back to Unlockable Character. Let me show you what I got going on right now. So I'm in MHD on my iPad. I need to make sure that the iPad is actually connected to MHD. Right now it's connected to my GoPro. So we'll switch over to MHD as the wireless connection. You can only have one Wi-Fi connection at a time, guys. Open up MHD, go to monitoring where I have a dashboard set up, and we should be around E40, which is perfect. So that is the ethanol content coming from the MHD sensor. We have boost, intake air temperature, oil pressure, E40, E39 is perfect. I put 6 gallons of E85 and 7 gallons of 93 octane at the pump. And right now with the winter blends, you know, I don't think we're getting full E85. We might get like E70, E60 at the pump. Coolant temperature, oil temperature. So pretty sick to have this, you know, while you're driving, so that you're not worried. You know, you're thinking, okay, am I getting full boost? What's the ethanol content? I don't have to worry about the ethanol content because of the MHD flex fuel setup on the multi-map that I have MHD on right now. But I still like to know how you know, the ethanol is at the pump, and instead of keeping a measure tool with me, which is like a little, you know, cylinder that you mix ethanol and water in and then you shake and then it tells you what it is, I can actually just use the iPad, guys. So, you know, it's a big advantage for me. So a lot of technical stuff right there, but let's get some driving in, guys. Come on now. We're heading back home. It is rush hour, so, you know, bear with me. It's about 4:13 p.m. We're an all-wheel drive sport. Valves are open. I actually have to move my mirrors further out so I can see what the heck is going on. Done, guys, even in traffic, because we have to be in this lane. Could be a car stopped ahead. It doesn't seem like there's traffic on the access road, so let's see. People might just be stuck in this lane. Yep. Tires are super cold, so I'm slowly rolling into boost. You do not want to get on boost in the middle of a cold, windy day when your tires are cold, guys. That's how people crash coming out of, you know, like Caffeine and Octane or other car events. You know, they're cruising, suddenly they put full throttle on the gas, the car spins out, you know. All-wheel drive won't save you when that happens. It'll be jerking you. It'll be like oversteer, and it'll snap oversteer when that happens. And that's how people end up in the side of the wall. Back in third gear, tires are still 60 degrees. Oh my God, this ethanol map. Some of you are wondering, how is the car 900 horsepower? It's pushing over 725, 730 wheel horsepower right now on the flex fuel setup at E40 to E50. I mean, you do you do the mechanical conversion for the loss because there's a whole drivetrain involved, right? Oh my God. Just gnarly. Let's have some fun here, guys. Quite a lot of traffic. This is how easy it is. Change up into very quiet mode, and we are chilling, getting into the lane here. I don't know why the car came out behind me going on the right side. It's kind of weird. Nowhere to go. That was a pretty silly move. I love that. Is that a Genesis behind us? Kia has this electric wagon looking thing that is just crazy. I think it's like 600 horsepower with the electric motor, and Genesis might have a version of it that's behind us. It looks so good. But look how quiet it is, guys. Honestly, I can't even hear the engine noise anymore. We're literally just cruising. So if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, and if you're in the Discord, you know, I update a Music Monday playlist every week, and I've been putting a few additional songs in there. I do find a lot of good leaks on Spotify, and I put them on there, but when they get taken off, I try and replace it with a different song. So let's see where we got it. There it is, Music Mondays. I think we have over 160 songs in there now, guys. A lot of Atlanta hip-hop, a lot of underground hip-hop, a lot of dance music. I would say some indie music, but a good mix. And it really does carry the spirit of the channel and the vibe. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. For those who haven't seen it in the car, one thing that is pretty crazy, I'm putting it back into road mode, is you can change what you display in the center screen here. And so I have CarPlay wirelessly connected to my phone. I have Waze here, but you can also have some of the CarPlay apps in the center screen, like the maps. So let me go into that here and show you guys. Roll up.
Hey, yo, what kind of kid is that, bro?
It's kind of my own thing, you know. I sell the wing.
Dude, what you got under the hood?
It's an inline-6 twin turbo, okay, but it's pushing 700 wheel horsepower right now.
Oh, I heard it, bro.
Yeah, you heard it? I'll show it to you real quick.
You got your GoPro too?
Yeah, you know, I got a channel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's called Unlockable Character on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you, bro. That's gorgeous.
That was fun. But yeah, guys, so this right now is on the factory map, but if I put Apple Maps on here, what I can do is set a destination, and this will turn to Apple Maps, which is crazy. While I have this up, I can actually put Waze on this screen. So this is kind of insane. I've seen the Porsche Taycan. You can do that too with the multi-screen setup. When you're in Apple Maps here, if you want turn by turn on this screen, you have to press the route button, and that should zoom out this screen, and now you'll get the turn by turn on this main screen here. So what I'll show you now is how I can exit out of Apple Maps and put up Waze, and now we got Apple Maps turn by turn and Waze at the same time. This is only possible in road mode, which is one of the M modes. You can't activate it in Sport or Track because the gauge cluster changes. And when you're driving, you cannot put the car into track mode. Now, track mode is pretty cool. It is part of a package, so if you don't get, I believe it's the M drivers package, you don't get track mode, and you don't get the 10 stages of traction control. And I really never used the 10 stages of traction control, but if I was really, you know, taking this car to a ton of tracks, I'm sure over time I would adjust my suspension setup, adjust my suspension setup and the traction control setup per track. But it's pretty hardcore. I mean, it's kind of cool to have, but I never use it. What I do use is the M Drift Analyzer, which is super cool. I used to have it as a shortcut. It immediately puts the car into rear wheel drive mode, and it gives you a score for your drifting. So pretty dope, honestly pretty cool. And one thing I wish track mode did, which it doesn't do, is on the track, there is still some safety collision systems in effect on the car when it detects too much slip and it detects a collision incoming on the side or the front. It will roll up the windows automatically. And on some tracks you can get flagged because you need to keep your windows down. And I've contacted BMW about this, and there's currently no way to turn it off. So that's like my only gripe with the car when you're taking it on track and you're on track mode. The windows may roll up on you in some extreme driving situations. And I have footage of that in my track day video at Polecat. So check that out, guys. That is a sick video. We were out there with some of the most amazing cars, GT3 RSs, GT500s, just insane cars. So definitely check that video out. So opened up a little bit, put the M mode into sport, which will change my gauge cluster so I can see what gear we're in. Open up the valves, put this thing into all-wheel drive sport. It's kind of like operating a fighter jet, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's no fighter jet, but it looks like one, sounds like one. Doesn't fly yet. But you get what I'm talking about, guys. Woo! There's a big pothole there, but we skipped over it. I want to get ways up here so we know what we're getting into. All right. I'm still getting used to how much power the car actually puts out. It puts out a ton of power, very low with the tune. What do you think, guys? Should we go through the city? Looks like there's a ton of people back in the lineup over here. I'm not gonna go through the city, guys. Not today. I feel like we'd be stuck. This is so fun, dude. I can't tell you guys how fun this car is. This is 12 out of 10 fun. And then quiet as you want when we come to a stop. Just unbelievable. So I have the valves closed now. We're in comfort settings. And I don't think you would be able to hear the car from the outside, especially on like a windy day. That's how crazy the difference is. See if we can have some fun. Looks like a lot of traffic, guys. We may not be able to have some fun, but we'll try. We can always try. What I spoke about in my previous video, when I spoke about, you know, energy and trying to shield your energy from people who might be in a low frequency, I also talked about how to master your own energy, and the first step is mastering your own breathing. And it is difficult, you know, because it's something you don't think about. But once you do apply your mind to your own not breathing, you can really learn to master, oh my God, I can't even speak in this tunnel. You can learn to master your force. And you can actually, it goes back to yogic teachings, Sanskrit teachings. You know, you think about your chakras and your stomach chakra and your ability to build power and strength, that can come from breathing. And so yoga is almost like an exercise for breathing, in a way, where you can channel your power. And when you can master your breathing, you can get over very difficult situations because you're not letting yourself get out of control. You're actually able to use your mind to control your body rather than letting your body respond to external reactions. And that's mastery. And people talk about matter, consciousness, quantum physics. Once you master your own body, you can start to achieve those magical results. And it is crazy. It does take work. You know, there are exercises that you have to do to learn how to breathe, and apply those exercises while you work out, for example, or you do running. And it can have significantly positive contributions to the other parts of your life. Like when you're trying to deal with a stressful project at work, or you're trying to, you know, deal with conflict at home in a relationship, possibly, you know, that breathing can just tone everything down, and you can come from a stable, solid place. So it's a real cheat code, I would say, being able to master your own breathing. All right, fam, so now you can see that while I'm driving, the car is monitoring everything that's going on. If you had an Android device, I don't think the iPhone can do screen mirroring on this, until you might have to do some Bimmer code hacking with that. But on Android, I believe you can screen mirror. So if you had an Android tablet, it would be really dope to see it up here. Let me know if anyone with an M4 has done that. I really want to see that in action on this big screen through Android Auto. But yeah, we're staying with 3940 for ethanol. I mean, E50 is like maximum. I think that the stock turbos with the stock fueling system can really maximize power for. Past E50, yes, the tune will adjust and you can get cheap E85 all the way up to full E85 for the tank, but you're not really gaining any power out of it, you know? So I'm probably gonna try and keep it to E40, E50, maximize that sweet spot for power. And yeah, guys, that's a 730 wheel horsepower output for the car on a production motor, stock transmission. You know, this car is produced in large quantities. I mean, it's a special car, but it's not like a hypercar, you know? And for it to be able to put that power out and just have daily drivability is just insane. Absolutely insane. The fact that the M2 has the same engine, and you can get a 6-speed M2 probably in the, I would say, $60,000 range, the newest generation you can get them used, is just outrageous power for the money, and an outrageous amount of car for the money. And all the M2 needs is just a lowering kit, some spacers, a front splitter, and it looks incredible. Honestly, it already has like a wide body, you know? In fact, the M2 is probably the best sports car on the market, under $70,000. And it's a lot more car than the Supra, I'll tell you that. Having owned a Supra, an A91 edition, it was super cramped. I loved the engine, although the B58 engine in my Supra was consuming a quart of oil like every 1,000 miles, and I had no idea why it was doing it. We were on the factory, it was very thin oil, it was like 0W20, 0W30, and then right about 10,000 miles I put 5W30 liquid moly in, I think, this special tech, and it stopped consuming oil. So I think the thicker oil helped, or maybe, you know, the engine, everything finally settled in. But a lot of those A91 editions, by the way, were lemoned for engine oil consumption. You might be able to find a good deal out there if Toyota replaced the engine on those cars and they have a lemon title. More traffic. There might be a power outage in the city. I got a notification for my building. We've had a wind and kind of like a overnight freeze, but we also had a windstorm. So could be some power lines down. Getting the notifications on Waze that the traffic lights are down. On the multi-map setup, you can actually have different burble profiles on different maps, and you can switch between them. So if you wanted to go from hard burble to medium burble to soft burble, you could. I don't have it set up right now, but that will be a future video. Oh, look at that Z4, that thing looks sick. I love Z4s, they look so good. And the new Z4, which is basically a Supra with more luxury, what a car. I mean, honestly, between the M2 and the new Z4, if you can get a new Z4 once it touches like the low 40s and lower it, oh, so good. I mean, you can't get a convertible M2, you know what I mean? And they do offer the Z4 in this awesome special edition frozen green with the peanut butter interior, and it looks so good. So guys, we made over $400 today in profit trading SPY in the Discord. We have people who have joined and immediately have made, you know, they're starting with small amounts of money, but $20, $50, $80, $200 their first day. And so I am telling you that through years of experience, having worked at BlackRock, I was a vice president at the age of 27. I've worked at multiple financial companies, but I didn't have the freedom to trade like I do today. I've learned a lot about the market, and you'll get that expertise, you'll get real-time call-outs that you can follow, and that's really the best part. Super windy, as you can tell. I'm gonna go into all-wheel drive mode because still not at 90 degrees on the tires. Plenty of dust on the road. So when a car loses traction, I think it's funny, it's like a metaphor for when you lose, you know, or when you lose control maybe of your life or some situation that you didn't expect. What do? Do you panic? Or do you stay on the gas and stabilize the wheel? You gotta stay on the gas and stabilize the wheel. That's exactly how you can, oh, there's a car behind me now. You can correct, you know, a car that's lost traction. And it's also how you can correct any point in your life that you feel like you've lost control. What you need to put the gas down on is the things that you can control, and that's the steering wheel, the aspects of your life that you can balance out. Just turn, point in the right direction, you know what I mean? Put this away, we don't need that anymore. It's funny, even inside the car it just sounds crazy. There are a lot of garages that come out on this road, so people have to take a steep left or right. Man, sometimes they come in the middle lane and it causes chaos. Take a little bit of a different route today, guys. Come around a different side. That apartment building is so funny. It reminds me of Boston. So instead of taking Peachtree Street Northwest, we're gonna get onto Peachtree Street Northeast, guys. Still in comfort settings, so it's very quiet. Some pretty gnarly roads here. See all those steel plates. And this is pretty much like a college area. There's a lot of arts here. I'm trying to see if there's a museum. I know there's a famous museum over here. I've been meaning to check it out, actually. This historical landmark for a church, going through some redevelopment. Here it is, Woodruff Arts Center. So definitely need to check out what it's like inside there. Have not been yet. This is a really nice part of Midtown. Just very cultural, honestly. Downtown is really dead. Like, it feels spiritually dead compared to Midtown. There's really good energy in Midtown, I feel like. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of young people, you know, students, young professionals. I think if you want to meet people in the city of Atlanta, like really cool people that probably have a lot of cool stuff going on, Midtown is the place to be. This is a new shopping mall kind of area. I mean, relatively new. There's a theater, there's an outdoor space where people can have concerts, kind of chill, watch a big TV, and plenty of shops. Underground parking garage is super hard to get into and super narrow, so you know, I would walk there or Uber there. Honestly, when you have a decent car and you have to deal with these parking garages, it can be super stressful. It's one of those things that with time you get less stressed about. But man, the first time you encounter a garage that's super tight and narrow, it's like kind of grandma mode, being pretty slow. But all right, guys, we're back home. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Plenty more videos to come, sticking true to my word with the daily upload schedule. All right, let's go.